All right, everybody, good Tuesday evening to you. I'm forecaster Dunn here with a quick look at your evening forecast. It is July 26, 2022, and today, most of us were fairly cloudy, some showers out there. Thankfully, no rumbles of thunder today like we thought we could see, especially to our south, but overall it's a little cooler. Felt a little bit more like fall in even some locations today, too, with highs barely getting into the 70s in some locations. Here in Columbus, we topped out at 75, which is 10 degrees below normal. Not something we typically see here in late July. We start out at 66, so not much in the way of a bump up today in temperatures. Rainfall, just a drop in the bucket today, bringing us to just over 7.6 inches of rain for the month, and tomorrow's sunrise will be featured right before 6:30 in the morning, and then sunset continuing to get just a little bit earlier at 10 minutes before 9 p.m. Looking at your headlines for tomorrow, and also look at tomorrow's high, should be within either side of 80 degrees. I do think we get enough sun tomorrow to boost things up just a little bit, but it will be on the humid side, so keep that in mind. And we'll have to watch for some showers and storms continuing throughout the day. They'll come in waves. May see a few isolated strong to severe storms. We'll talk about that in just a second between 2 and 10 p.m. And we also could see some heavy downpours and some flooding risk with that as well. Speaking of that risk of severe weather across our area, if you're kind of situated near and I'd say about south of I-70, we do have a low risk of severe weather. That's a level 1 out of 5 risk. And the main hazards over here are going to be for some isolated hail and some isolated damaging winds between 50 and 60 miles per hour. I'm not expecting this to be a huge event by any means. Just a couple of storms may get a little rowdy tomorrow, so just kind of be prepared for that. If you're heading out to any of the county fairs across the region, just keep that in mind and maybe make sure you have multiple ways to receive warnings and check your weather apps and check radars. And, of course, if anything goes severe, we'll, of course, keep you posted here on Facebook with the latest with that. I do want to show you one model run for tomorrow evening at about 7 p.m. You do see some scattered thunderstorms. Some of these may be kind of more the pulse variety, but we could also see some multicellular type storms. And if things could really get going enough, maybe a couple of line segments, and those may feature the best chances for damaging winds. But there also will be that risk of heavy rain, so some pockets of flash flooding are certainly going to remain with us here as a potential throughout the rest of the work week. Speaking of how much rain we could see, well, the latest run from the National Blend of Models suggests most places getting at least some measurable rain this week, but the bullseye really kind of shifting south a little bit further with each update, potentially now kind of centering itself south of US 50 and maybe even closer to the Ohio River and points south. So still looking at this potential for 1 to 3 inches of additional rain. Some spots more than that. St. Louis, Missouri, that area this morning, and especially near St. Peter's, saw over a foot of rain. So certainly when we say localized higher totals, that's what we're talking about. So as you work down into Kentucky and West Virginia, don't be surprised if you see some spots getting closer to a half a foot or more of rain before the weekend approaches. For us tonight, thankfully nothing like that. We'll see lows in the 60s across the board. Mostly cloudy skies for most of us. A few breaks in the clouds a little bit further north you go. A few spotty showers possible near and south of US 30 for tonight. Again, not really expecting much in the way of anything significant, but through about midnight tonight, we could still see a couple isolated downpours, and those could bring a little bit of an isolated heavy rain risk, and I'm not going to completely totally rule out a rumble of thunder prior to midnight either. So we'll keep you posted here on Facebook through the rest of the night. I'm forecaster Nick Dunn reporting.